How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at the EMG 2011 DS licensed by Saline Arms. Today we're going to be going over some questions that you guys might have, and then I'm going to be talking about my experience with it. Okay, now your first question's probably going to be... As a matter of fact, it is. This thing is made entirely from an aluminum alloy, making it extremely light. Now this is still going to be a little bit heavier than your Glock 17, just because the Glock 17 has a polymer frame and this one is still metal. But it will be a lot easier to carry around than a normal 2011 as you are playing airsoft. Now, your second question is probably going to be... Nope. As a matter of fact, it is. This is powered by a 30-round green gas magazine, and here, let me show you. This is it, right here. Now, something interesting I noticed about this magazine is that the fill valve is really deep in there. The distance from the fill valve to the base plate is probably a little over half an inch, which can make filling up with green gas a little bit tricky, especially if like the nozzle with the green gas is a little bit short. But I use propane, so it doesn't really matter to me, but that is just something to keep in mind. Now, performance was something that was a very interesting topic, mainly because it wasn't very good. Unfortunately, for this price point, you would expect really great performance out of the box and you wouldn't have to do any modifications. For me, the trigger was awfully mushy. It was just, I don't know, it was not as crisp as you would expect from a 1911 or 2011 trigger, especially one that costs over $200. And another thing is that the hop-up wasn't working all that great. They curved very much to the left whenever you shot past about 75 feet, which just, it was a big deal for long-range accuracy because you had to like adjust and point the gun like 3 feet to the left to get on target, and that was not fun at all. So that was a big issue for me. Now, I have heard a lot of people have very similar issues. There are some people and their guns work great, but for most people it seems that the trigger is just not what they would expect, and the hop-up is not very good, which is a shame for a gun of this price point. Like, you don't want to buy a $200 gun and then have to put a brand new hop-up unit in it just to make it work as well as $150 Jag Arms high cap. It's just a little bit disappointing. Now, the sights on this thing were fantastic. Although the gun did not shoot where you pointed the sights, they did at least do their job very well. Now, this is a green fiber optic sight. I like red fiber optic sights just a little bit more because it stands out in the greenery a little bit better, but they still worked a lot better than if it was just like a regular white dot sight. The rear sight is not adjustable at all, which is okay, but if you're gonna make a gun that doesn't even shoot straight, you might as well have sights that are adjustable, right? I mean, maybe that's just me. Now, the trigger on this thing is pretty cool. It's a skeleton trigger and it is completely flat, which is, it looks good. It doesn't work very well, but it does look very, very nice. The hammer is skeletonized and, well, yeah, it does its job. I mean, it's a hammer, what do you expect? Now, something that looks very, very nice is the trademarks on this gun. Saline Arms International written all over the slide, and they are engraved very nicely. Now, of course, a question a lot of people are going to ask is, it was pretty good, you know. The finish, I didn't notice any chipping, any scratches on the slide, and I have shot this quite a bit, and the slide wobbles just a little bit. Ready? It's not as bad as some guns that I've seen, but for the price, I mean, come on guys, $200 and the slide still wobbles around. Now, of course, you're going to have some wobble with guns. It's a moving part, so it's going to have a little bit of wiggle room, but this seemed a little bit excessive, just for me. I don't know, maybe I'm nitpicking a little bit, and, you know, that's fine, but yeah, just something to keep in mind. Now, the grips were very nice. You've got stippling all the way down them, and you never felt like the gun was going to slip out of your hands if they got sweaty. This is a tough one right here, because performance, as I mentioned, not very good. But this thing looks fantastic. I absolutely love silver, matte silver. If it's like a shiny silver, not a huge fan of that. It's just a little too, I don't know. But a matte silver gun, I absolutely adore. So then the question I asked myself was, if I had known before I bought this what it was going to be like, would I have bought it? And the answer is probably no. Anytime I went to go play a game, I found myself using other guns, you know? It's like, I'd rather use a Glock 19, I'd rather use my other high caps, I'd rather use a Glock 17. Just, the performance was so disappointing that it kind of just took away everything else. Like the fantastic sights, you've got just a fantastic feel to the gun. It's very light, but if it doesn't perform at the end of the day, I just don't really want it. Alright, now before I go, I want to show you all a magic trick. Are you ready for this? We have made a Freedom Isn't Free pistol stand that you can buy in the description below. You're going to love it. Trust me, it makes a great gift for yourself, or just if you want to buy it for somebody else, you know? I mean, hey, it's up to you. I don't judge. I don't judge. If you want to buy this, and then you're going to buy it for somebody else, but then you buy it, and then you receive it, and then you're like, wow, I want that for myself, and then you don't give it to them, I won't even judge you for that. Like, just go get it. It's so cool. Anyways, thank you. Actually, before I go, I want to implement a new scoring system after every review, 1 through 10. And this is going to get a. Can you put in like a drum roll after? Yeah. All right. This is going to get a 7.134. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing is very mediocre and is not the best gun, but it does look good. So, anyways, that is my review of the EMG 2011 DS, and if you want to see more of me, go ahead and click this video up here. It's about guns I wish airsoft manufacturers made. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.